picture? There's some things going on. What do you Yeah, there's only 3 arms. There's only 3 arms in the picture. Because what we do to ourselves, we do to Jesus. Right? What we do to ourselves, we do to Jesus. We've been talking about Christ in you is our only hope of glory. When you ask Jesus to come into your heart, and you meant it, He came in. The question sometimes is, okay, you've asked Him to go. Is He Lord? Or is He just one of the people in our lives, or one of the blooms in our life? One of the small books that impacted me. First of all, I really started getting interested in church in high school. And I went more than I did normal because I was dating this gal and she went to this church. So that would be one occasion. I mean, that's why I increased my motivation. That's why I started going. And along the way, I asked Jesus to come into my heart. And then there was this missionary. They had some special meeting, and he shared this booklet. It's called My Heart, Christ's Home. And it's kind of a parable about when we want Jesus to come into our life. We invite Him in to our house. And there was Jesus in the front room. And it opens up, and the guy at first would sit down with Jesus every day, and they would have this conversation. And as life goes on, he just got busy, and Jesus was still sitting there and walked through. He didn't pay attention to Jesus. Jesus was in his life, in his home, but he just walked by him. And then it struck him. I've invited Jesus in my house, but I'm not paying any attention to him. And so he began inviting him to his everyday life, and he was talking to him. And then in this little booklet, it talks about the different rooms that are in our heart. Began talking with Jesus, and Jesus pointed to the room. It was the entertainment room. He said, "Can I be in that room with you?" "Oh, Jesus, you don't want to go in there. There's stuff in there that you think you would really like. There's stuff in the entertainment room that I think you would really, it's really not going to be. Like TV, there's things that I listen to, see. Can I be in that room?" I'm impressed on it. I said, "I want to be in your life." He says, well, he invited Jesus in, and then when Jesus came in, all of a sudden he had conviction of all sorts of stuff. And he went around to different rooms. And the guy was really pleased. Because I've invited Jesus in my life, and he came over. And then one day, Jesus was not in the living where he normally was at. I'm just paraphrasing. It's a good little book. My heart is on. And Jesus is in front of this one room where the door is locked and there's a lock on it. And he says, what's in there? I'm not going that way. No, Jesus, you can't go that way. That's my room. And the idea over there was that Jesus wants to come into our lives and not be there on occasion when we need him. That he would be Lord of our life. It's a great little book. Teeny little book. I think you can even find it on the internet. I'm sure you can. My heart cries. Jesus is in our life. The question is, why is our lives the way it is? Because we haven't invited him into our life, into every room. There are rooms that are off limits. And I think we all understand this. This is not some mystery. In Luke 24, Jesus said, this is after the resurrection, this is the second to the last verse in the Gospel of Luke. Luke was a Gentile believer. He was not one of the 12 apostles. A Gentile believer. He was a physician, a doctor. And if you read the Gospel of Luke, you will find in it stories that are not in the other Gospels. Because he paid particular attention to how he treated people that were non-Jews. Because he wasn't a Jew. And here in this passage, Jesus says to his disciples that were remaining before he ascended into heaven. And now I will send the Holy Spirit, just as my Father promised. But stay here in the city until the Holy Spirit comes and fills you with power from heaven. Why would he say that? Because Christianity before Pentecost was absolute fire. Without the Holy Spirit empowering us to live for Jesus, it was an absolute failure. How many have ever thought, man, I could be there when Jesus spoke to Lazarus and he came out of the tomb. He was dead for 4 days. If I could be there, I don't think I'd ever doubt him. If I could be there when we thought we were drowning on the Galilean Sea, when the waves were coming in and we were so afraid and we said, Jesus, help us. And Jesus rebuked the wind and the wave, and one instant, Transfiguration. All of a sudden, Jesus turned as bright as the sun. And there was Moses and there was Elijah. Wow. I don't know if I'd ever doubt. Peter even said stuff like that. Lord, if all would fall away, even if everybody turns away from you, I would never. You know the story. All the disciples. As a whole, at the end pre-Pentecost Christianity. Christianity without the Holy Spirit, absolute failure. Good intentions, you can try all you want, you can put your heart into it, it will never work without the power of God. Luke's companion book. Luke wrote the Gospel of Luke, and he wrote the book of Acts. Then in Acts chapter 1, the story picks up. You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. And you will be my witnesses. You will be able to be my witnesses. You'll lay down your life like you never laid down your life before. Because witness back there, witness in the Greek is the word martyr. You will lay your whole life down when the power of the Spirit comes on you. And you will be my witnessing. He didn't say you're going to go out and do witnessing. On Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night. No, your life will be one big witness. You will be my witnesses. Where? In Jerusalem, right where you're at? Judea? Your country? Samaria? And to the ends of the earth. He says, but stay right there in Jerusalem. Don't even try to live for me until you be endued with power from on high. Don't even go out. Don't try to do a lot of Christian works. They huddled together, they prayed constantly, they were together. Then in Acts chapter 2, at 8 o'clock in the morning, they were all sitting. This wind came through, a rushing mighty wind. It says everybody that was there, seated there, was a flame tongue, a tongue like a flame on top of everybody's head. And something happened to these people. Ordinary Christians became extraordinary. They actually became giddy. So filled with the Holy Spirit, people even thought they were drunk. That's what it says in chapter 2. They were so giddy, so filled with God, they spilled out in the street, and they thought, they just had too much wine. And Peter said, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. People that drink a lot, 8 o'clock in the morning might be a starting point for you to do that. And then Peter went to seminary training on how to preach a sermon. Didn't hand out cards or anything. He said, but it was on the day of Pentecost, which was there was a convention. It said every Jew from every nation that was there. And Peter stood up and spoke. And 2,000 people came to know Jesus that very day. And they were baptized right there. The church was born. This guy who denied Jesus, all of a sudden had power that he never had before. But you know what? They were convinced. These guys were depressed, discouraged. They knew they couldn't serve Jesus on their own. They knew they did not have it within them to be able to serve Jesus, to be able to follow Jesus, to be able to walk the Christian life. They knew they couldn't do it. And when you know we can't do it, we're going to be open to following Jesus and tapping into His Spirit like never before when we are convinced there's no way. There's absolutely no way. There was occasion this way. We have international students coming, right? A couple of them are coming tonight, supposedly. Akron Canton Airport. China, coming from Vietnam. Well, we had this light fixture up in the old bathroom. It's got the ballast system and all that. I said, ain't gonna do that stuff. I bought this. We got this. I said, it's got to be probably about 1.5 foot fixture to go in this space, only 2 feet at the maximum. It goes up, it's recessed inside. And we bought that thing and put it in. I wasn't looking forward to it because, you know, you do something for the first time, you don't know. And I wouldn't say that the best skill level of me is doing stuff like that. My highest skill level. I said, I gotta put this thing in. I guess I put it in last minute as well as I knew how to. Okay, I assessed the situation. I had to turn we had to turn the power off.
Wise.
We turned all the power off, and we had to have lights strung from another source up in there to see what was going on.
They
Okay.
aren't marked. I'm screaming up from the basement breaker box. Is it out?
Well, they never marked it when they redid it way back when. And we told them, mark that sucker, and they never marked it. And so, you know, I don't know. Anyway, we turned it all off from
You
the
said
break.
something other than your finger to test it with. You know?
Anyway, it was all off. And we had another source of light, you know, from the ignition cord from another part of the house. Okay, here we are. Here I am. Benita said she's out praying, which is probably good. She's out praying. And I kind of looked the thing over. I got to take this out of this box, and then I got to take the whole box out. And then I cut the wire from the source outside the box, put this thing. I never made one mistake, man. It was a breeze. And I knew that wasn't me. And I said, this was God. I knew it was God. But Benita then said, would you take it back?
Turn it on.
Well, I came back and I said, how'd it go? He said, it went really well. I said, that's good. I was praying for you.
That's why! I knew I couldn't do it. I knew this is not my skill. It is not your skill or my skill to live this Christian life. It's only Christ in you that can live this Christian life. We can't do it. You can't do it. I don't care how great intentions you have. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall on our face every single time if we're walking in our own power. That's the way it's always. Christ in you is the only hope of God's glory being manifested in our lives. Mystery that was hidden throughout all ages, and we talked about it last week. We're going to look at another passage that says the same thing. The mystery in a nutshell is Christ is in you. Therefore, you can look forward to sharing in God's glory. God's glory goes with you. God's presence goes with you. Because it's Christ in us. It's that simple. This is the substance of our message. We preach Christ, warning people not to add to the message. Some people will say it's Christ plus this, Christ plus this. It's not. It's Christ in us. By faith, through His grace, in Jesus. That's the Christian life. And here is a passage in Ephesians. These Christians in Ephesus. It's kind of, it's sort of like that. Quit filling yourself up with the world. Quit filling yourself up with other things. What are you doing? 13, parable of the sower, talks about how the seed is in the soil. Christ and these other things can hinder. The rocks can hinder. The thorns can hinder. The thistles can hinder. The devil can hinder. Try to steal stuff, right? It's in there. Matthew 13, parable of the sower. Christ in you. Don't drink excessively. Don't let other things get your attention. Don't let things... The drunken path is a reckless path. We know. And there is a connection between... And I've drunk before. I'm proud of it. Hallelujah. It hasn't been for 30 years or whatever it is. I've been drunk before. A time where I would drink alcohol every day. And I know when you're drunk, you're under another influence. Another thing is a power over your life. That's reality. No matter what I did. Because I remember I had to sign things. To sign. And you know, you have to focus extra hard when you're drunk. You have to focus extra hard if you plan to do something right. There are 25,000 people every year getting killed from drunk drivers in the United States. 20. Instead, fill you and let Him be the primary. So whether you're signing something in a car, or whatever you're doing, be under His influence. That's what the idea there is. Be under the influence of the Spirit. Because whatever in our veins, whatever it is, it has power over us. And it will quench. He's talking to Christians here. He ain't talking to heathen folk. This is Christians, right? Took him 5 chapters to get to the point. But this is a major point in the whole thing. We need to be filled. This wonderful mystery is given to me by divine revelation. Here he talks about it again. This is in Ephesians chapter 3. This wonderful mystery. We've been talking about this mystery. What makes a mystery? What makes something mysterious? Yeah. And you know, up to the time of Jesus, to really find God is mysterious. Up until the time of the Holy Spirit coming, nobody could follow Jesus. The disciples couldn't follow Jesus. Nobody could follow Jesus. Even Moses had major issues. He couldn't get into the promised land, right? This mystery was given to me by revelation. There has never been a generation that has been given the detailed understanding of this glorious and divine mystery until now. God kept it a secret until this generation. God was revealing it only now to His sacred apostles and prophets by the Holy Spirit. Here's the secret. The gospel of grace has made you, non-Jewish believers, into co-heirs with the promise through your union with Jesus, and you have now become members of His body. And that happens through the power of the Holy Spirit. So I humbly kneel. I kneel humbly in awe before the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the perfect Father of every child, and Father and child in heaven and on earth. And I pray that He would unveil within you the unlimited riches riches of his glory and favor until supernatural strength floods your innermost being. That's what we need. We need supernatural strength to flood our innermost being with his divine might and explosive power. In Acts 1:8, it says, you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. And the word power there is dunamis in the Greek, where we get dynamite. You'll have explosive power to live the Christian life by the Spirit of God. Then by constantly using your if you don't believe Christ is in you, you'll act like Christ ain't in you. You know as well as I do. If you don't believe it, believe that same power that Jesus had to walk the face of the earth in you, there's no way. By constantly using your faith, Christ will be released deep inside of you. The life of Christ will be released deep inside of you. And the resting place of his love is the very source and root of your life. Wow. Then you will be empowered to discover what the Holy One experiences, the great magnitude of the astounding love of Christ in all its dimensions. You will encounter Jesus, and his love will pour over you. I mean, the love of God is shed abroad in our heart by the Holy Spirit that's been given us. That's what the Word of God says in Romans chapter 8. And how deep, intimate, and far-reaching is his love, how enduring and inclusive it is. Endless love beyond our measurement that transcends our understanding. This extravagant love pours into you. You are filled to overflowing with the fullness of God. That's why these were so drunk on Acts 2. It was just overflowing. It was too much, man. It was pouring into them and they couldn't contain it. It's not God just meet my needs. No, God will pour into us so we can pour into others. We're here to be witnesses, not to get through and survive. That's not who we are. Never doubt God's mighty work in you and accomplish all this. Boy, that's a good one. Never doubt God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all this. He will be infinitely more than your greatest request. Most unbelievable and exceed your wildest imagination. He will outdo them all, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you. Ephesians 3:16-20 in the translation. I'm going to pick up on the clip. Christ in you.
To you, I need to take you on a journey. The sun is burning on my rocky ground. September, when I first meet Farzad. He appears to be calm, determined. The longer I sit with him in the car, the more I get the impression that this man has already seen a lot in his life. A friend of mine told me I should meet up with him to the Middle East. But the only thing I know about him is that he's a Christian and works with refugees. Together we drive a couple of hours across the dry countryside. In the past few years, This area has seen tremendous hardship. Eventually, a huge facility. At the entrance, I feel a knot in my stomach. It's probably one of those G camps, constantly in the news. Farzad got through the camp. Then we stopped in front of a tent. Inside the tent, we meet Salma and her family. 2 years ago at dawn, ISIS fighters attacked the village. They killed her father and kidnapped her daughter. But she herself was able to escape. For a long time, Salma had no hope of ever seeing her daughter again. But one day she received a phone call. Out of the blue, her daughter contacted her through a secret cell phone. This is the reason why Salma cannot and will not get hope, even though the last sign of life from her daughter was over 6 months ago.
My brother has been had now admitted of this.